Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe McCall here, and I'm starting a brand new video series on the 7 steps to flip vacant land. This is something that I've been doing very part-time for the last few years with my teenage sons. And with my 2 teenage sons, we've done over $150,000 in profits doing this very, very part-time. And recently I did a case study where last winter, we went to Colorado to ski for a week. And while we were in our condo in Vail, we flipped a condo in Florida that we'd never been to in the middle of nowhere, and made an over $11,000 profit on this deal. So, what I'm going to be doing in this 7-part series here is actually going and doing this stuff live, and I'm broadcasting this now, right now as I'm recording this into YouTube, and Facebook. So this is about as raw as it gets. Okay. And I'm going to show you the steps that we take to run this business. And I really believe this. You can make 10 grand working just 10 hours a week in this business, setting up the right systems, doing the right marketing, and just 10 hours a week by getting other people to do most of the stuff for you. I flipped houses for years and years. I quit my job in 2009 flipping houses, specifically doing lease options. I've done a lot of wholesaling, lease options, subject tos, owner financing, creative deals, rehabs, buy and holds, all of that stuff. And I have found over the last few years, especially, that flipping vacant land is my new favorite strategy. Now, we still do wholesaling, we still do lease options and all that other stuff. But right now, I love vacant land because it's so much easier than houses, especially in a crazy hot market like we're in now, and even if we're coming into a recession. Flipping vacant land is easier because we're buying these properties for so much cheaper. That's one of the biggest reasons I love this. Very little money and risk involved in this, okay? The other reason I love it is because you don't have to talk to sellers like ever until after they receive your offer. So the way I do it, and I'll walk through these steps here in just a minute, but like, I do not talk to sellers. So if you have a full-time job, if you don't even like talking to sellers like I don't, you don't have to worry about any of that. You don't talk to the sellers until after they see your offer. And there is a huge demand for these types of properties that we go after. So we're targeting small, rural, cheap, rural, vacant land outside in the sticks, and we're buying and flipping these things very, very quickly. And it's a great strategy. I'm going to be teaching you all of this right now in about 7 or 8 different videos, where I'm actually going to be teaching it and then going live and doing it. And if you want more information, and I'm going to be walking through a mind map right here that looks like this, you can actually get this mind map if you go watch the class, simplelandclass.com. Go to simplelandclass.com. Depending on when you're watching this, it'll either be a live webinar or a recorded webinar or just a video. But if you go to simplelandclass.com, I do these webinars now all the time. It's a lot of fun. So today is going to be step 1. Pick a market. And I'm actually going to be picking a market and showing you what I'm doing here as we go through this. Now, in this mind map here, this is a mind map I walk through again at simplelandclass.com, simplelandclass.com, and you can see this kind of what's going on. I go through the steps. I talk about why land. I answer a bunch of common questions, and I show you how you can do these deals. And in fact, we will set up your systems and do your first marketing campaigns for you and coach you along the process. So anyway, step 1 is to pick a market. And so for these videos, I'm going to show you what I like to do. I go to a website. One of the places I start with is a website called landwatch.com. And I'm in here really kind of big, so I make sure you can see everything. But for example, if I go to Florida, and then you can do this in any part of the country, right? But I'm just picking Florida right now. I'm going to scroll down. I only like cheap, rural, vacant land, right? So I'm going to look for properties that are under $50,000. Sometimes I do 100,000. Let's just do 50. And I don't want the little quarter-acre lots in the cities. I want bigger lots out in the country. So I'm going to do 1 to 20 acres. Let's just do 1 to 10. 1 to 10 acres. Those are my filters so far, okay? In Florida, under 50 grand, 1 to 10 acres. And then I'm going to do something else here. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to check solds. I only want solds. Now, these are not all of the counties, all of the lots that sold in Florida in these counties. These are just the vacant lots that have sold that were listed or advertised on this website. Lands of America, Landwatch are very popular websites. So I'm going to uncheck active, and then let me click see more here. And I'm going to uncheck under contract. So now all of my filters show Florida vacant land under 50 grand, 1 to 10 acres that have been marked as sold on LandWatch. Okay. And if you scroll down, now you can see kind of a list of counties where a lot of the activity has been happening: Okeechobee, Suwannee, Putnam, Levy, Columbia, Gilchrist, Polk, and Marion. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pick maybe the top. Now, I know these top two counties are kind of popular, a lot of competition. I don't mind the competition. Competition's a good thing. In fact, I would be concerned if you picked a market, a county that did not have a lot of activity. But let's just look at Putnam. I'm going to write this down here. Putnam and Levy and Columbia. Okay, I'm just looking at those three counties right there. And I'm going to pick maybe one of those three. Let me add Gilchrist on here too. Gilchrist. I like going to where there's already demand. I know there's already properties, vacant lots that are selling here in Florida, for example. And by the way, you can do this for like any state. I mean, like if I just go into, let me go to LandWatch here. Let me go to LandWatch and search by map. Actually, hold on a second here. I don't want to do that. I want to click search. Here we go. All right, I'm clicking search, and you can see all of the states that have, these are active listings. And so you can say, all right, show me all of the states that have properties under $100,000. And you scroll down again. And minimum acres, I want 1 to 10 acres. So these are the most active states with listings, active listings, okay? North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, California, Arizona, and Michigan. A lot of activity there. And by the way, who are we selling these vacant lots to? We're selling them to people who want to go camping. They want to ride their four-wheelers. They want to have a place they can go shoot their guns, just get off the grid, build a cabin someday. We're targeting recreational land users. These are not properties on the path of growth. People aren't going to probably build a house here. We want cheap, rural, recreational, vacant land. And so we want to go into the counties that are out in the sticks where there is a lot of demand and there's a lot of activity. And trust me, there is. You may think, well, there's a lot of activity in this because I've never heard or seen of this before. But just put that out of your head for now, because if you think, well, I've never heard of this before, don't think that it's not something that can't be done or has never been done before. We're doing a lot of these right now. We're averaging, depending on how much marketing we're doing, we're buying 2 or 3 of these a week and selling 2 or 3 a week. Our average profits, $8 to $12,000. So let's just say 10 grand on average. So you see in Texas here, I have under 100, 1 to 10 acres and sold. Texas is a very active state because it's big. Florida, California, Colorado, Arizona, Tennessee, Missouri is up there, which is surprising to some people. If you click on Missouri and you scroll down, you can see the top counties: Lincoln County, Howell County, Texas County, Warren County, etc. So this is kind of just the start of how you pick your markets. All right. So if you remember, we were in Florida. Let me go back to Florida now. And there's Florida under 100, 1 to 10 acres and sold. And I wrote down those counties: Levy, Putnam, and Columbia, and Gilchrist. Okay. Now, what I like to do, there's a tool, and I use this. I talk about this a lot in the class, this other tool here, and I'm going to show you where it is. Again, you can get this mind map, and you can get the class of me walking into a lot more detail. I'm going through this really, really fast. But at simplelandclass.com, you can watch me do this. So there's a tool I use called Priced. And all I'm doing here is, again, I want to clarify, LandWatch only gives you the properties that have sold that have been listed on their website. It doesn't mean that this is the actual count of vacant lots that have sold. So I want to look at what the active number of lots that have sold, starting with Putnam County here. So I'm going to log in to my Priced account. Close your eyes. All right, let's go to Priced Land. And I'm going to type in the first one I looked at, Putnam County, Florida. Advanced search. I want 1 to 10 acres. Let's do 1 acre increment. I'm going through this really fast. All I want to know is how many were purchased in the last year. Vacant lots in the last year. I click get count. Hopefully this works. It's spinning here, 676. Cool. Let's look now at Levy County. All right. So I'm going to go Levy County. Boom. Get count. Again, at simplelandclass.com, I walk through how you can actually do a lot more research on this website. It's amazing. Columbia. Now, this service priced actually pulls, oops, I didn't mean to click search, but they pull their data from Data Tree, which is a big, huge data provider. And a lot of people get their comps from them. And data 386. This is all coming from public records, okay? But Columbia has 386. Let's do one more search here. Gilchrist County. I probably pronounced that wrong. Gilchrist. They have 281. All right, so looking at that, Levy County was number one with 1,010. Putnam was number two with 676. Let's just pick Putnam. Why not? Let's see what Putnam has. So one of the things I like to do, I'm going to click search here. One of the things I like to do is go to Lands of America. There's another website I like to look at. And I'm just going to see kind of what's out there. Putnam County, Florida. It gives me an idea kind of where it's at. So if I zoom out, this is good, right? It's not in a city. It's kind of an hour, 2 hours away from any city. We've done a lot of deals kind of in the north central part of Florida. There's a lot of activity. We get a lot of buyers out here. But this is a county here. So this is what my competition is. If I zoom in here, there's 428 listings. Let's add some search criteria in here. Let's do 20 acres. Let's say 1 to 20 acres. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times. There you go. I'm going to click includes residents. No. Apply filters. There's 204 listings. That's good. I'm going to sort it from low to high. And these top leads are premium listings. So they pay for these. So you can kind of see the pricing of this, 1.2 for 15. So in a typical example, we'd be buying a 1 acre property at 20% of what we think we can sell it for. So if I get a calculator, this is just general rules of thumb. It depends on every county. But if I go to 15,900 divided by 4, I would buy this property for about $4,000, $3,975, and I would sell it for 15 grand. The goal is to buy it cheap and sell it cheap. I want to be the cheapest one on here. So you can see these ones are selling for about 15 to 20 grand, 25. If I keep on, these are signature listings, right? This is a guy that sells a lot of properties. He's selling 1.4 acres, usually on owner financing. So you can get a lot of information when you click on these guys and see how they're advertising their properties. Now, these are listings from other sources. And this is what you're looking at. This is also your competition here. So this helps you price your properties. But I like this market. I see a lot of activity here. I'm going to go to more filters and I'm going to select solds. Let's look at how many solds are out here and what are they kind of selling for. Now, a lot of these are what investors are buying them for, so don't freak out. But this is what you're going to be buying these 1 acre, 2 acre lots for, and then selling them. Okay, and then as you get let's say you actually get a property in this area of the county, then you're not going to care too much about the comps on the other side of the county. You're going to be focused on the area around where yours is. So I like Putnam County, a lot of sold activity, I see investors in here. That's good. So this might be a good area. I'm going to go into priced, and this is now where I'm going to get my list, and this will be actually step 2. So step 2 on my next video, I'm going to show you how to get a list of all of these vacant landowners in Putnam County. And I'm going to show you then after that how to set up a voicemail system, because I'm going to send out letters, and all the calls on those letters are going to go to a voicemail. Then we're going to send simple 1-page letter to these folks saying, hey, Jim Smith, I think you own a 2 acre property in Putnam County. If you're interested in selling, please text or call my 24-hour recorded voicemail. And then when they call, That comes in, our system gets all the information together, and then we send them an offer at 20 cents, 25 cents on the dollar, okay? Based on where their property is located. Is it on a lake, or is it, out in the middle of nowhere? Kind of looking at it, we make them an offer at 20, 25% of what we think we can sell it for. And then if they accept our offer, that's when we talk to the seller. We want to talk to them. We want to review it. We want to do some due diligence. And if we decide that we want to go through with it, then the final step, number 7, is we buy and sell it. So we flip the deal. We flip the deal. On average, what we're doing right now, let me get back to my screen here. At simplelandclass.com, if you go there, you're going to see on average, we get about 2.5 to 3% response rate on our letters. Now think about it. That's amazing when you consider it with houses. You're doing well if you get 0.5 to 1% response rate. We're getting triple that with 2.5 to 3, sometimes 4% response rates on our on our letters. So we send 1,000, we get 30 to 40 calls back. Well, somebody says, yeah, I want to sell my lot. Maybe give me a price. Now, some of them are going to be, they're mad or whatever. And so then as those leads come into our system, then we have a virtual assistant, and I have these tools that will review it, tell you about what the property is worth. And then we make an offer at 20 to 25% of that. And then we send it to the seller. So an example would be if it's a 5-acre lot that's worth 10 grand, just using round numbers. And I think I can sell it for 10 grand. I'm going to send an offer to the seller for $2,500. Now you may think, who in their right mind would accept that? We are averaging right now, if I were to show you our numbers, we're averaging 1 out of every 10 to 15 offers get accepted. 1 out of every 10 to 15 offers get accepted. And our system does all the follow-up and all of that. So we send the offer. 1 out of 10, let's say 1 out of 20, worst case, 1 out of 20 offers gets accepted. Then we talk to the seller and we do our due diligence. And that's about step 6 or 7. And I'll talk to you about that. And then we buy it and we flip it. Typically we sell it same day. So we'll do a double close or maybe a little bit after that. It's an amazing system. I love it. I'm so excited about it. And I'm going to share the mind map and this whole class with you. If you go right now to simplelandclass.com, check it out. My next video, I'm going to be showing you how to pull a list of those vacant landowners in Putnam County. I just picked that out of random as quickly as I could. And I'm going to show you how to pull a list. And then I'm going to show you how to set up your voicemail system to handle the incoming leads, then how to send a quick, simple letter. We're sending our letters for like anywhere from 50 to 60 cents a letter. First class, very, very cheap. It's amazing. And then we're going to show you how to handle the incoming leads, how to send them a quick offer. And this is all done with a point and click. You can literally do this from anywhere in the world, or your teenage sons can help you like mine did, send these offers for you. If 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 accept your offer, then you do your due diligence and you decide, well, whether is there road access? Can I actually get to the property? There's a bunch of little things, and I'll show you how to do that. And if it looks good, then you proceed with closing on the deal. You sell it. We're selling these things lightning fast, especially if you're in the right county. And that's why step 1 on today's video is so important, because I know there is a lot of activity. There's a lot of people selling vacant land in this county. This is why it's so important. And you can do this in any state. Find in your state what is the most active counties where there's the most vacant land transactions and purchases in the last year. That's a good place to start. Okay. And then you can go deep. You can choose your top 4 or 5 counties. And then just every week we send 500 letters, maybe postcards, but 500 to 1,000 letters every week. You're going to get a bunch of leads. You're going to do a bunch of deals. You're going to make a bunch of money. And if you set up the systems and the processes right, you can make 10 grand a month working 10 hours a week. That's my guarantee and promise. So if you go to, again, one more time, simplelandclass.com, check it out. I do live webinars every week, and I do these. You maybe get my recorded video. I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this, but go to simplelandclass.com and check it out. I'll see you there, and I'll get you my mind map as well when you go watch the class. I appreciate you all. We'll see you